Hello everybody and welcome back to another new vlog. Thank you for joining me once again. You join me today in a place called Barton Under Needwood, which is in Staffordshire, a little village just north of Lichfield. It's not all that far from where I live, so it's fairly local, but it's another local woodland that I happen to be in today. I've come here really to see the Barton Marina, which I've already just been to have a look at, and it's very nice. And I'll go back there and take a few photos in a little while. But in the meantime, there's a Barton Marina trail that I'm walking along, and it goes around the edge of the marina itself and then out to another couple of pools the other side of the marina, and then after that there's a trail that runs through this woodland here. So I've literally stumbled upon something that I've never ever seen before, that I've never been to before, an area which I just came to on the off chance, purely and simply because I was going to the Barton Marina. But behind me you'll notice this path that runs into the woodland, and look at the beautiful winter sunlight that's coming through the trees as you walk through that path. It gets very dark, you can't really tell very well on this particular camera, but it gets very dark as you go into that woodland a little bit further down that path. And I wanted to capture that composition of that dark woodland as you walk into that woodland, and it's basically saying that you don't really know where it's taking you, and I don't, to be quite honest, because I haven't yet walked down there. So I'm going to take a walk down there. I've got the first shot in the bag. It's a composition of this path leading into that dark woodland, and I've shot it using bracketed exposures purely and simply because I've got quite harsh light from the sun coming through the trees and some very dark shadows. So I'm trying to make the most of the highlights and the shadows together, which means combining three images. One slightly too light for the background, so it brightens the background up quite a bit, and one slightly too dark for the background, so it's correctly exposed for all that sunlight that's coming through the trees. And then there'll be one in between the two as well. So I'm not sure exactly what the settings are, but I hope you like this image. That behind me is my next composition. There's a path here. I've only walked about 100 yards from where I last was, and I've come around to the back of that little bit of woodland that I was last in. And there's a path here on the other side of it which runs down, and then there's a cutting just ahead of where I'm standing now, with one tree right slap bang in the middle of this cutting. Now I think the trees either side of this path are all Scots pines. I think, I could be wrong, but I'm not sure what that one is in the middle all on its own in that cutting just there. So I'm going to stop here and take a shot of this, and then as I turn around there's another path through these trees here just behind me. I don't know how well you can see that, and that's where I want to head to next. So I'll take this shot behind me, and then I'm going to head off down in that direction and see what else I can find. So I've just been talking to a guy over there after I took that last shot, and he was talking about how beautiful the light is, and it really is. Look at this around me, absolutely stunning light. But he was also saying that he's only just got back into photography after some years of not doing it at all, and he showed me that he'd bought a little point and shoot camera that he managed to pick up from a charity shop for £10. Now I think that's brilliant, just walking around with a point and shoot camera that he's bought for £10. I don't know how well his shots will come out, but quite frankly he's just out and about walking his dog, enjoying the light, making the most of it, and trying to get some decent photos while he's on his walk. And I think that's brilliant, and that's what everybody should be doing. I only came out today to have a little bit of a walk. The reason I take photos is because I enjoy taking photos. It's got nothing to do with trying to be anything special. It's got nothing to do with trying to make my way anywhere. It's just a case of being out and about and enjoying the scenery, the light, and what we've got around us. And I'm lucky enough to be able to capture a few photos of it, just like that guy with his point and shoot camera he feels that he's lucky enough to capture some lovely shots with it as well. So that's the idea, just get out and take photos. I'm having a look now, mentioning the lights earlier, I'm having a look now at just the very edge of this woodland. There's a path just over in front of me, behind you, and I'm going to walk out onto that in just a moment. But just at the very edge of the woodland here, there's some nice light on these trees, and I love the formality of these Scots pines. I think the Scots pines anyway. I love the formality of them because they're just straight up in the air. We've got this beautiful blue sky behind them, which I think comes across in the image, but also a little bit of dappled light coming through the trees themselves, which makes for a very, very interesting composition wherever I look, really. So I'm just trying to find, I suppose, an image that I like the best. So I'll set up here and take a photo, and then I'm going to move on. So as you can probably tell, I've come out of the woodland now. I love the effect the sun's rays had coming through the trees as I was taking those photos. I don't know how well they're going to look in the final image, but they're absolutely beautiful. And I just love this kind of light, this early winter light that we get. It is December now, mid-December, so we're only a week or so away from Christmas. But I do love the light that we get, especially in woodland, on days like this. It's a beautiful, cold, crisp day with hardly a cloud in the sky. So you get these beautiful blue skies, but the sun remains very low on the horizon all day. So you get this quite stunning light, and especially in a woodland, that really, really creeps through. I'm following the Barton Marina trail at the moment, and just to my right there's a pool that I'd really love to photograph at some point, but I can't really photograph it at the moment because I would have to photograph into the sun, and as I said, the sun is very low on the horizon, and with nothing at all to obscure it at all, like trees for example, it would cause an obvious flare on the camera, and the images wouldn't turn out very nicely at all, and it would make it virtually impossible to find exactly the right exposure, and you'd be constantly fighting with that sunshine. So I'm not going to shoot it at the moment, but maybe I'll come back here again at some point in the future and photograph this at different times of the year. But for now, I'm going to head back over towards the marina itself and probably around another pond, and then see if I can capture a few shots over there. So I've got a shot behind me, and you'll see I've got the sun right in my face as well right now, but this is good because there's behind me a tree, and how well you can see that. I can't see it very well at the moment. Yeah, there's a tree just behind me, just here, and as you can see, the branches there kind of curve out over the top of a little bridge in the background, and that bridge in the background is really interesting, and the scene itself with the tree and those branches curving over the top of that bridge make a really interesting composition. The only problem I've got, that also in that shot here there is a bright red life buoy and a bin for dog mess. So at some point in post-production I'm going to have to clone out those two things from the image, because there's no way I can get any closer to the bridge itself and still keep the tree in the composition, because that is kind of one of the two main features of this particular shot. So I want to try and keep that in the composition, but I can't get close enough to the bridge to have the bridge without these two interlopers just here. But if I do get close enough to do that, I can't have the tree in the image as well. So it's kind of a difficult shot, a challenging shot, but it's one that I know will work. So I'm going to set this up and take this shot now. So I'm going to head back over to the marina just now. It's literally just behind the camera where I'm shooting from now. There's another little pool just next to me, but there's nothing really to shoot anywhere around there. And I've just got to literally go across the bridge here and over to the marina itself, and just the other side of a row of little coffee shops and restaurants, and there's a pub, and I think there's even a cinema over there. In fact, I know there's a cinema over there. But just the other side of that, there's a little pub on the corner, and I'm going to want to go and stop there for my lunch. But it is quite busy over there, so I won't really be able to get a tripod out and record any more video. So what I'm going to try and do instead is just take a few handheld photos whilst I'm over there, see if I can capture some decent shots of all of those canal boats in the marina itself. It looks very interesting. I hope you like the images. If you do, please give the video a thumbs up, and also please remember to subscribe to the channel. But in the meantime, I look forward to seeing you again on another vlog very soon. Bye for now.